Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, was released in 2013. This is directed by Adam McKay, written by McKay and Will Ferrell, with a cast including Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate, Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, and various others. And in general, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I thought the first film was so fabulous that maybe I was expecting too much from this one. There will be spoilers, I guess, for the previous film, as I discuss what's happened in Ron Burgundy's life between the films, but I won't spoil what happens in this film. So, Ron Burgundy and Veronica are now married with a son, and she gets the opportunity to be the first female night news anchor, and Ron Burgundy gets fired, which obviously puts a wedge in their relationship. He does end up getting a job at a 24-hour news station, and that's what the film is about. There's a little bit more to it than that, but I won't go into too much more detail. But I just found the narrative to be kind of boring. There are some okay moments. It's not that I was bored from start to finish, but the narrative just felt really weak. I don't think it was an interesting story. And it is creative, but not as much as the first film, or it's not as fun as the first film. And honestly, and I hate to say this, but I feel like Burgundy was more fun in the first film, and he's just kind of annoying in this film. Again, not every moment. He's not annoying from start to finish, but there were times when his character was just starting to irritate me, and I never really felt that with the first film. So a slightly annoying character and a really boring narrative means that I just don't think this film is anywhere near as good as the first film. Yes, it's creative, but it's not that fun. Visually, it's quite engaging. Obviously, we have an amazing cast and we do have some really good performances. But is all of that enough to save the film? I don't think so. Do I recommend it? Well, yes. All of that being said, I still think it's worth checking out if you liked the first film. If you didn't like the first film, if it wasn't for you, then I'd say it's probably not worth watching the second film, because on the one hand, it does feel like a sequel. It does feel like an Anchorman film. On the other, it's just not as good. It's not as interesting. It's not as funny. And some of the characters, namely Ron Burgundy, are just a little bit more annoying than I would like. But nevertheless, visually, it's quite good looking. The performances are very good. And I guess the narrative flows well. The pacing's not too bad. Credit where it's due. I just didn't think it had a lot to offer. So it did disappoint me. But I think the first film being so strong meant that it was never, never say never. Sometimes sequels to amazing films can be even better, but it was very unlikely that this was going to be as good as the first film. So maybe the first film in that way is a victim of its own success with trying to create something afterwards that's just as good. It's not just as good, but it is watchable. So if you like the first film, then I'd say check out Anchorman 2. Don't expect anything as good, but definitely watchable. I'd say more than watchable. And if you liked the first film, then I guess I'm happy to recommend the sequel.